Well, good morning, everybody. It is very, very late. I was going to do this yesterday already, but due to I had to chase up to Denmark for an unexpected. Okay, it was expected. I had to go do a printer. So we are going to take a look at this HP Pavilion. I thought it was a little older, but actually it's a Windows 7 era PC. This is the PC that has been acting up mysteriously. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when they log in and try to use it, it freezes. Sometimes it glitches out. So it's old enough that I think they pretty much got their money out of this PC. I don't. And the $1 million question that they asked me was, how much would it cost to rebuild the whole thing with original factory spec parts? And I'm like, well, that's a great question you asked. I'm like, but astronomically, wouldn't it just be cheaper to buy another refurbed? And they're like, well, I suppose we could do that. But wouldn't it be more fun just to spend some extra money? And I'm like, it's your money. I'm like, it's only 6 gigs of RAM, and it's only an AMD Athlon processor. I'm like, it's a Windows 7 era machine. Which the interesting thing is DDR3, 1 terabyte drive, AMD Athlon 630 quad core processor. I admit it wasn't a cheap, junky computer back when it was new. It was probably a $600 or $700 or $800 computer for the time. I'm not going to condemn him from buying it. Then he also got a packaged keyboard and mice, and he also got an HP LCD 23-inch diagonal full HD model 2310M included with it, but obviously either that they have that monitor somewhere else. The monitor that they have sitting there was not an HP original spec monitor. That had some aftermarket ones. So either died or they have it at home. But then for the back, why don't they just turn it around so you can actually see what we're looking at for ports. And so you got a typical BAST or EC branded power supply. I'll figure out the wattage. I'll figure that out later. I can't read Chinese. So you got your typical VGA and digital video out. And then you also have optical audio. Now that's not the fiber optic. That's just the component hookup, which is orange colored, which is typical for this era of computers to have. This is more like a multimedia computer because you had a 15-in-1 card reader in the front, which is typical for this time period. And then you also had 4.2 USB 2.0, and then you had a 100 megabit Intel Ethernet. And you had your typical you have the option of a 5-speaker surround sound system with this PC that you could have used back in the day. So that's kind of cool. I've never actually used that feature. I have a set of 5-speaker surround speakers, but I just haven't. I'm so busy working most of the time, I don't have time to mess with that crap. So we're also going to, before we tear into this thing and figure out what's going on, I'm going to suck all the crap out of it, all the dust and cobwebs, and this thing has never been cleaned from day one. I'm just surprised that it didn't start a fire or quit working at some point in time. I'm just surprised it didn't overheat. So normally you're supposed to blow these things out and do a good... I'm not going to use a reference because YouTube might flag for what I'm about to say, but most of you out in the audience know what I'm referring to. So we're going to improvise here tonight with a shop vac. I don't recommend it, but it's already 10 after 1 in the morning. I'm probably going to be here until 4 and then go home, go to bed. It's probably sleep until 11 a.m. or something or whatever. I don't know yet. Well, enough about that. We're going to get back to this. So we'll grab an extension cord. How about a nice white? And everybody's thinking, gee, why don't you just use a heavy-duty orange one? Well, that's what I had on hand. So I'll put my lamp over here, which was giving us extra light. And we'll go back to it in just a few minutes. So I need that wall receptacle. So get untangled here, so and then we'll make some noise here. There, we'll tiny shop vac. And we'll turn it on. Headphone users, beware. This could get noisy, so you might want to turn your volume down for a few minutes. Alrighty, that's a little more manageable now. So, we'll get this out of the way. Put that over here for now. And let's grab a power cord. Unplug this. Well done with this. And we'll plug the line back in. There we go. Now we can see a little bit better. Okay. All right. Let's. Actually, I can't really show you what's going on with it on camera because there's a lot of confidential reports and that on there. So I just remembered that I get sued big time if I reveal what was on there. So sorry for everybody's disappointment. But we're gonna kind of keep this video short, anyways. This is just kind of. First things first is we're going to take the hard drive out of here because we will do a hard drive recovery. But I'll have to do that off camera. But first things first, we'll demonstrate taking the drive out. All right. I just undug my tool just the other day. So we're going to use the screwdriver set. So that's kind of what we'll be using. A lot of the later HPs all right. One strange one. First screw was this. What was? Well, that bit's kind of stripped down. Need the next size up. And of course, we got to pop the front bezel off. And that's a lovely mess in itself. Huh. I gotta look at this for a second. Huh. Well, that was a great mystery. I wasn't expecting that at all. Oh, let's see. Must have to lift it up. No. again. There we go. Take these connectors out. And we can go back to removing our screws. So this hard drive bay features an additional spot for a second hard drive, so you can make a RAID 2 configuration if you really wanted to. And that is only a 500 gig drive, so the original one must have died. So I hope you enjoyed this little segment. I know it wasn't as exciting as it could. There was a few bloated capacitors inside after looking at it. So that happens. Computers like that aren't meant to last forever. God bless everybody. Take care. And we'll make a video in a day or two.